Hi, hello! Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're all safe and doing well. Before I get started with this video on Jojifuku, I would like to give a disclaimer that the purpose of this video is to provide information and context. I just want to share what I found in English as well as in Japanese for those who might not be able to read or understand it. I would like for this to be an open forum for discussion, and I would especially like to hear thoughts from those who are Japanese, as there could be some cultural differences that not everyone can understand. This video will be different from my usual J-Fashion Mythbusters video, as there isn't so much of a community around this subculture, and I myself am still trying to learn and understand, so I'm not endorsing this and I am withholding my judgments, but I think it's very important to look at things objectively without bias from all points of view. Now, what is Jojifuku? If you're on the international J-Fashion side of TikTok, you might have heard of this. You'll see a lot of pastels, strawberries, anime characters, San-X and Rio, bows, mezzo piano, mini skirts, gloomy bear, just lots of pastel, pink, etc. But Jojifuku means girls' clothes or girls' clothing in Japanese. So the brand Mezzo Piano, and I'm actually wearing a Mezzo Piano piece right now. It's this vest right here. It is a Japanese girls' clothing brand that was popular with young girls in the early 2000s. It was developed by Narumiya International, which also created Angel Blue, Daisy Lovers, Pomponette, etc. And I kind of feel like the American equivalent is like Limited 2, which is now Justice. Lately, with the rise in nostalgia for 2000s fashion, Fruits Magazine, buying secondhand clothing from Mercari Japan, a lot of people outside of Japan have been really getting into these Narumiya brands like Mezzo Piano. And you'll see Mezzo Piano in a lot of Jojifuku pictures. The sizes go up to about 160 to 165 centimeters, which kind of fits like an S, at most an M in adult sizes. Now, to get to the current debate, let's backtrack to when some people on TikTok would ask others not to describe their style or just anything as kawaii because they should just use the word cute instead. In the future, I would like to talk about how kawaii and cute are different, but from there, people started using cutecore instead. But then some people had an issue with the word cutecore, saying that it is attempting to whitewash, westernize the word kawaii, even going as far as to say that it is racist. So then they were just like, just use Jojifuku. It's a type of pastel fashion from Japan. But then, when you Google Jojifuku, you will find some risque NSFW pictures. So that's where this whole debate at the moment is coming from. Is Jojifuku bad or not? So I watch the TikTok that Haruka, a Japanese person who participates in J-Fashion, made explaining everything. I really recommend watching this as well. I also talked to a Japanese friend of mine who lives in Japan who wears Jojifuku, and I looked it up on various websites in English as well as in Japanese because you will find a lot more stuff in Japanese. When you look it up in English, you will find people outside of Japan tagging their outfits as Jojifuku on places like Pinterest, TikTok, but Instagram actually got rid of the hashtag. I'm not sure why exactly, but some people were saying that it's because people had been posting risque NSFW stuff with the tag. There's also this one Tumblr post made by Soda-Candy that FY Manhara reblogged and added the caption, "Jojifuku is such a cute evolution of fairy cake. The difference is that one is based on 80s childhood nostalgia and the other on nostalgia for the children's clothing brands that are featured in shoujo magazines which are worn here. Thus, it doesn't fit most adults without modifications." If I'm not mistaken, Sugar Pew Pew reblogged that around 2017. You will also find a lot of pictures from the studio in Japan that does Jojifuku photo shoots. If you see the pastel star foam mats, little twin stars bed with lots of plushies, pastel pink wallpaper, that is the same studio that everyone uses. Which leads me to what I found in Japanese. You will find even more pictures in the studio. There's even some YouTube videos, TikToks, lots of Twitter posts, blog posts, etc. But before I continue talking about this studio, let's talk about the other things I found because a lot of things lead back to this studio. Let's start with this two-part article that was made in the the July 2017 web version of Kara magazine. For those who don't know what Kara magazine is, it is a popular Japanese alternative fashion magazine that has become synonymous with the rise in punk, lolita, and gothic fashion trends in both Japan and international communities. Unfortunately, the magazine is no longer in print, but they sometimes update their online website, though the last post was uploaded in August of this year. The title of the two-part article is hashtag otana nano ni jojifuku kiteru, which means something along the lines of, even though I'm an adult, I'm wearing girls' clothes, or I'm an adult and I'm wearing girls' clothes. But remember this hashtag because I will be bringing it up later as well. The models are Shina Hikari, a Japanese model, singer, and television personality. She modeled for Gyaru magazine's Ranzuki and Pop Teen, and then debuted as an idol singer under the name Shina Pikarin and branded herself as an idol from the demon world. There's also Ichigo Rinahamu, singer, producer, DJ, member of BPM 15Q. They were actually at freaking AWA this year. I'm so freaking jealous for everyone who got to see them live. Rinahamu is also a former member and producer of Cybr, Brand New Idol Society, and various other music groups. And the third model is Senanan, a singer, DJ, and designer. The article states that Jojifuku is a new fashion that was born from Twitter hashtags. It shows how to do your hair and makeup and a few examples of outfits. The second part of the article had Pikarin again, but with two other models. As you can see, they are wearing mezzo piano and angel blue pieces, and if you notice the background, they are shooting in the studio that I mentioned that is listed as Adam Studio. Pikarin also filmed with Kawaii Patin, a YouTube channel that has lots of video tutorials focused on fashion styles born in Harajuku, Shibuya, Akihabara, like makeup tips, cosplay, street fashion, etc. Basically trying to introduce these cool Japan things to the world. The tutorial that Pikarin did that has the same hashtag is called Little Girls Makeup by Hikari Shina, and compared to other videos, the comments are turned off on this one. Another Harajuku fashion source that was made pretty recently in 2021 was in Harajuku Pop Web, an information website that showcases the latest information on fashion, makeup, sweets, shops, and pop culture from Harajuku. This article explains the types and genres of Harajuku-kei or Harajuku-style fashion that exists and groups them accordingly. So there's the styles that came from Lolita, gothic punk styles, colorful, flashy fashion like Decora, and Jojifuku, which was listed under pastel fashion. It says that Jojifuku fashion are clothes for kids like Narumiya brands such as Mezzo Piano and Betty's Blue that elementary school girls used to wear that are now worn by adults, which are older than the original target demographic of these clothes. It also says what I mentioned earlier of how these children's brands have sizes up to 160 centimeters so that even adult men can wear them if they have a slender, petite enough body. It mentions that same hashtag otana nano ni jojifuku kiteru and the Twitter account that is mentioned as the source of why this is getting popular online. The last line mentions a Jojifuku studio in Kashiwa City, Chiba Prefecture. This article was made and illustrated by Bisco Ezaki, a Japanese artist and creator of the Menhera-chan manga. Bisco Ezaki also made another article in 2021, this time focusing on just Jojifuku and Danjifuku, which is boys' clothes. It explains the same thing as the previous article, saying that in the Heisei era of the 2000s, children's clothing brands were popular, and it lists those brands in order of girls' clothes and boys' clothes. It mentions the Kara magazine article that I first talked about, the Twitter page that is said to be the source of why Jojifuku got popular online, and the Jojifuku Cafe. Bisco Ezaki says that the key points of the style are to be cute and colorful like an elementary school-aged girl, and that the pastel color palette is in some ways similar to Yume Kawaii, a soft, dreamlike aesthetic found in fashion, artwork, music, and even food. Bisco goes on to talk about Danjifuku, boys' clothes, that has not been done before, unlike Jojifuku, girls' clothes. So they wanted to take on the challenge to be the first to do otana nano ni danjifuku kiteru. Even though I'm an adult, I'm wearing boys' clothes. They say that to do this, you have to deliberately wear tacky designs and not be ashamed, as it will make you look more like a young boy. This article has pictures of Bisco Ezaki wearing Jojifuku and Danjifuku, with the Jojifuku photo shoot pictures taken in that very same studio as all the others. When looking up articles, it's very important to look at who the writer is so that you can get some context. In the case of Bisco Ezaki, they unfortunately have some controversy surrounding them, like trying to copyright Yami Kawaii and separating themselves from the Menhera community. In the Jojifuku article that Bisco Ezaki wrote, they mention a cafe that still exists to this day. Otana nano ni Jojifuku kiteru cafe in Akihabara is a cafe that has the theme concept of Jojifuku, where staff are dressed like young girls treating customers as big brother or big sister. A website that lists all kinds of concept cafes, say that it was started by that same photo studio with that same hashtag. Although I did find a campaign that was made to raise funds to start the cafe by Misaki-chan, but I can no longer find their Twitter account that's linked to it. The campaign shows that Manamoko, the illustrator for Fancy Surprise, drew a design for them, but I'm just assuming that they were commissioned to do so. The cafe is super pastel and has mezzo piano clothing pieces hung on the wall, as well as all sorts of plushies and magical girl toys. Someone who visited the cafe said that when they were in elementary school, they really wanted to wear mezzo piano, but it was too expensive, so they have longed for it and are now excited to see a cute girl wearing something cute up close. The cafe has a Twitter page and has even made some YouTube videos in the past. So, what do all of these articles and the cafe all have in common? The hashtag. If you look up the Twitter account that started the hashtag, you will find pictures of models in that pastel studio. The bio of the account states that this is an attempt to wear the cute, pastel-colored girls' clothes that I adored as a child now that I am an adult. Please note that it contains both kawaii fashion elements and fetish elements. No minors are allowed to send a DM for photo requests. There is a main Twitter account that I just showed, as well as an account featuring just the models. I highly do not recommend minors to look up these accounts or this hashtag, as there are a lot of NSFW images. You will find all sorts of AV idols who work in corn, gravure idols who pose in provocative photos, and cosplayers saying that they are cosplaying as an elementary school girl. Some even call themselves legal lollies. And there was even a photo shoot done at an actual elementary school. So basically, when you look up Jojifuku in Japanese, you will find all of these things on top of actual children modeling kids' clothes. What you are not able to find are street snaps of people wearing it in public as a fashion on sites like Tokyo Fashion or Japanese Streets, which you will usually see for other types of established J-fashion styles. I also tried looking up when this first started popping up online, and the earliest I could find was on Twitter in 2016. I tried to advanced search all the way from 2016, though I could be wrong. The last source that I would like to talk about is one of my online Japanese friends from Japan who makes content about Heisei culture. I noticed that they had used the hashtag Jojifuku on one of their Instagram posts and asked what it's all about and whether it is considered a Harajuku fashion. They said that they are unsure of the exact definition of Harajuku fashion or Jojifuku, but that they would give their own interpretation. Jojifuku first appeared in Japan as a fashion for lolicons/pedophiles. If you look up the hashtag, you will find it. Later on, more people started to incorporate Japanese girls' clothing brands, mainly those from Naramiya International, such as Angel Blue and Mezzo Piano, into their Harajuku fashion outfits because of the pop designs of their clothes. They also said that they fall into this category, and that is why they use the Jojifuku hashtag, because Jojifuku is girls' clothes. People who like pop and flashy designs would wear Angel Blue, and those who preferred girly and cute designs would wear Mezzo Piano. They think that there aren't many people who wear Jojifuku as a fashion, but there are some people who would use only one item, such as a sweatshirt or a cap from these girls' clothing brands, though they have seen only 1 or 2 Japanese people wear girls' clothing brands from head to toe. In summary, their personal definition is Jojifuku, referring to the hashtag is for pedophiles, but if you wear girls' clothing brands in a Harajuku fashion outfit, that's essentially what it is. You're wearing a Harajuku outfit with girls' clothing brand pieces. Incidentally, they personally call the style where people wear girls' clothing brands like Angel Blue from head to toe as Heisei Joshi style. You can check out their post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Note.com. So, the question that I have for those of you watching are, would this be considered a Harajuku fashion style? Would it be better to just stop calling this style Jojifuku? What are your thoughts on this subculture? When adding on to the discussion, I know that not everyone is going to agree with one another, but please still remember to be kind to one another in the comments. If you have to, just agree to disagree. There are going to be a lot of different opinions on this, especially since I know that there are some people who can be uncomfortable around those who blur the lines between NSFW things and J fashion. Some might have some trauma which could be triggering. Some people might have experienced someone else sexually interact with them without their consent, or even label the style that they are wearing as something sexual when it's literally just fashion for them. And a huge thing that is important is protecting those who are younger in the J fashion community from predators and such. An important thing that I would like to end with is to remember that you don't have to box yourself into one style. The J Fashion Mythbusters videos are meant to introduce these styles with correct information, so it's meant to be a starting point, and then from there you can mix and match styles, find some inspiration, and then, do your own thing. Don't stress out about hashtags or labeling yourself as one thing. Just wear what you want to. Get creative and be free. If you are looking for inspo online, kawaii fashion is a good general umbrella term to use. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through, and thank you to my lovely patrons. I will see y'all in the next video, so take care and bye bye.